nationwide at 5. It's time for the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks. My co-host will be Sanjay Lewis. He'll join me shortly. But we're going to start, listeners, with a story. We are reporting at the top of the bulletin. You'd have heard it. The Integrity Commission has refused to release the findings of a multi-million-dollar international audit that it commissioned into the financial affairs of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Similarly, the anti-corruption body is also refusing to confirm whether it has closed its investigations into Dr. Holness's statutory declarations. Now, the reason given by the Commission is that these matters are now subjudice, meaning they're now before the courts, and that responding would potentially violate the Integrity Commission Act. Now, all of this came to a head because, listeners, if you've been reading the 2024-2025 annual report, you will find that at page 71, at Appendix 1, the Integrity Commission at the very top of a table notes that it has closed an investigation into Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Now, myself and our parliamentary reporter, Siobhan Campbell, we've been going through the report, and when we saw the reference, we were wondering exactly what investigation was being referenced, because the report does not say what the investigation was about. It only tells you when it was opened, which was April of 2023, and when it was closed, which was July of 2024, and that it lasted for 338 days. Now, out of an abundance of caution, we decided to write to the Commission requesting clarity. And as you would also know, there's been a lot of public interest in the contents of that audit report, which was commissioned, multi-million-dollar report. The findings were submitted to the Integrity Commission. Based on those findings, it said it still couldn't come to a determination regarding illicit enrichment and the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. So it referred the matter to the FID and I believe the TAJ for further probing. Now, we wanted to know, as does the public, what is in that document. What did the auditors, these international auditors, that so much money was spent to contract, what did they tell you? And so we submitted 2 access to information requests, one for the audit findings, and then you would recall that the Information Complaints Committee of the Commission, which I believe is chaired by the Auditor General, that committee has responsibility for reviewing, examining the statutory declarations. So we wanted the minutes of those meetings that it would have had over a 3 or 4 year period to get a sense of what might be the sticking point. You know, why couldn't it make a recommendation for certification or non-certification as it relates to both the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition? I think we submitted that on June 30. Well, this afternoon, the Commission responded to us, 2 paragraphs, very to the point. It would not answer any of the questions. And I believe we submitted about 6 questions and 2 ATI requests, and it wouldn't honor the ATI request either. The Commission is saying it's before the court, it can't answer. Now, what's important about that is I think we can then fairly conclude that it is related to the statutory declarations, that is the matter that has been closed. Because, as you would know, the Prime Minister has taken the Commission to court and is awaiting the hearing of a judicial review claim he has that will be heard in October. The statutory declarations, that matter forms a part of that legal challenge. So if the Commission says it is subjudice, I think it's reasonable to then conclude that, yes, in fact, it has closed its investigation into the statutory declarations. That, of course, raises other questions. Because if it is so, and the investigation is closed, why then was it referred to the FID? And also, why would the Commission have closed an investigation, tabled a report in the Parliament, and still referred the matter to another body for further review? As you would recall, in granting the request for judicial review, the presiding judge at the time said that she felt that Holness had a likelihood of success on that point as to what should happen to the investigation now that it has been closed. And again, that's the only reasonable conclusion that can be drawn from this idea that it is in fact sub judice and therefore they are barred from responding. We also wanted the chairman specifically to give the Jamaican people an indication as to how they should view this matter, right? Several millions of dollars would have been spent to investigate this matter. Not saying it's not an important matter. Obviously, it's important. But the Jamaican people are going to go to the polls soon. And the premier anti-corruption body cannot, by its own admission, give the Jamaican people confidence based on all the money they have spent and 338 days taken to probe a matter cannot give the Jamaican people certainty and confidence. From where I sit, certainly, as a reporter who worked on it with my colleague Siobhan Campbell, that's unacceptable. It's also unacceptable that the Jamaican people will go into these elections not knowing what these international auditors found. I think the Integrity Commission must reflect. We're going to have to get a legal perspective as well as to whether Section 56, as the Commission says, bars it from releasing the document. Because again, if the matter has been put to rest by sending a report to the Parliament, does the Act still continue to shroud it in secrecy? Again, this matter of this gag clause, Sections 53 and 56 operate as gag clauses, yeah? And the Integrity Commission is telling us this afternoon it cannot respond because of that, and it also cannot respond because the matter is before the court. I mean, obviously, the obvious other question is, why didn't you send the report in the first instance, the audit report, to the Parliament? Why didn't it form an appendix to the report that you tabled into the statutory declarations? So this afternoon, we tried here to get some answers for the Jamaican people. We're no clearer as to where we are with this matter. We're no clearer as to where the FID is with this matter. And again, the Jamaican people are being called to the polls. Reasonable people can conclude that the anti-corruption body, the premier anti-corruption body, has not effectively done its job to ensure that there can be some certainty. And we asked the Commission's chairman again, what should the Jamaican people make of that? Because billions of dollars have been budgeted, given to the Commission. If you read the annual report, you will see how much money they spend on a range of issues, entertainment, security, all of that. And if I dare say this might have been the most important matter that they have probed since they have come into operation. And this afternoon, 15 minutes to 6, the Jamaican people are still no clearer on the matter. I submit that that's unacceptable. We're up on the break. We're going to take the break and come back with more.